Um, 2 summers ago, I went to Selma, Alabama with a group called Students About Change, and it was like 30 of us. We're all black, and we went to Selma, Alabama to learn about Black History Month stuff, and like we toured the city or whatever on a bus. We like saw all the old architecture, whatever stuff that's been there before, like Civil War and stuff, and it was really neato. And we toured Alabama State University. Now, when we were on the bus, our tour guide stopped the bus after we left here, and then we started being part of a slave reenactment that we didn't know what was happening. So he stopped the bus after he was just turned into 2 different people. He stopped the bus. He was like, "Yes, it's Alabama State or whatever." So then we got off of the bus, and then he got off the bus and he got back on. And he was like, "Get off the bus, get off the bus." So we're all scared. We don't know what's happening. We thought it was an emergency. So we all ran off the bus. And he was like, "Put your hands against the wall and open your mouths and stretch your hands out and stretch your legs out." So we were like this, like on the wall, didn't know what was going on. We thought this was a prank or whatever. So then people were crying, and it was crazy. And our teacher didn't warn us about this. So he was like, "You guys are now my slave cargo, and we're going to do this, that, and the other." He was talking about don't look at me in the eyes, don't say a word. Girls couldn't stand next to boys couldn't stand next to a girl. He like separated us. He was like, "This is he used other words, but he said witch. He said it like that, replacing the word. So he was like, "This is my witch. You stay away from her." And then he called the boys like knuckleheads or whatever, meaning like the N word for black people or whatever. So he was like, "These are you're a knucklehead, da da da. You don't look at me in the eye. You're below me." And he was like fake spitting on people. And after that, we went to this room. The first room, we lost our religion, our names, and if you had a sibling, which we had 2 girls who were twins, he separated them into different groups through the whole reenactment. So they were crying. We still didn't know what was going on. We thought this was something happened while we were in Selma, because we're all from Florida, or from Lakeland, Florida. And so after we lost our religion, he put the stamps on our hands, so we were only members, so we lost everything. And then the next room we went to like this slave ship or whatever. So all you heard was like in the music, there were like babies crying and mothers and people. And he talked about how they were like chained head to toe, and people like were gnawing off their own arms, jumping overboard into shark-infested waters, and like people were trying to, there was like diseases going everywhere, so people were just dying on the ship while they're transporting slaves the whole time. So like after we got off of the slave boat, we had to like crawl through this tunnel thing that he kind of pushed us through. So I was crying the whole time through. I didn't know what was going on. I'm not crying now, but I didn't know what was going on, so we were still just following what he said. So then after that, he put us in a room and he lined us up like in windows, and he was like, he pointed out good, like we were all the same race, so he said knuckleheads to replace the N-word. So he was like, "I'm gonna pick out some good knuckleheads." And then when he picked out those, he had those people pick out people from their own race to go die because they're weak or whatever. So he was saying, you pick them out or whatever to go get lynched. So he made them pick them out, and people like moved to another room to get lynched. And then he was like, "Well, if you turn on your own kind, you'll turn on me," even though he told them to do that. So he told them to go die too. So that was like fake screaming and everything. And then that was like the end of the tour. It was like a tour the whole time, and we didn't know what was happening, so he made it into it was like a whole reenactment thing. So after that, we walked into this room, and it was like a museum, so you saw like all the old pictures of like slave trade and like all the KKK stuff, and like you saw everything, and it was like blood and like different displays happening around, so it was really cool. I didn't get to put the pictures on there, but we took pictures and everything, and after the end, he asked us questions, like he was just like turned into another person again. It was like, "How did I do?" And everybody was like heartbroken, like, "What are you talking about? You like broke our lives, and then you just said, how did I do? But he talked about how like this is nothing compared to what actually happened back then, or whatever. So like it was really crazy and it was really scary. And after that, we walked across the Edmund Pettus Bridge. That's how it was back before I think 1950s, or with Martin Luther King, I think. When all the people walked across the bridge to, I think they were walking to vote or something like that, and they got stopped, like repeatedly. They walked there 3 times, and that's where they called it Bloody Sunday. So they got gas and stuff. We were right here, and like on this side was like a museum that we were inside. So then after he talked about it, we looked over, he was like, this is where millions of people died, like right there on the street. So we were standing like right there, and you can see some like old footprints inside the cement, because I don't know how that happened, but you can see them still, and you can see like everything that happened, like you can see where it happened at, like where like the dents in the road were and everything, and it was really, really cool. And then like when we walked across the bridge, it was like, I don't know, it felt like I was there, like walking, like, because we walked, it's a good walk, and it's like when you see on this side, it's like a huge lake, and like you saw like people's houses still there from like way back when, and but they're abandoned, but they still left them up there so you can still see everything. And it was just like really incredible experience. It scared me, but we learned a lot, and it was crazy because a month after this, like a couple weeks after we left, this movie came out, so we were almost extras in a movie. And I'm gonna show the trailer to this movie. And when I saw the movie, we like saw everything that was there, and it was just so cool because we were like all a part of that. Sorry,
you're dancing with the wrong girl.
I'm not afraid of a war.
Watch your toes now.
I
didn't experience that.
I'll give you a kiss. Suppose we ought to get that down.
Fargo premieres Monday, October 12th on FX.
He's got supporters. Detroit, New York, Los Angeles, inciting large-scale arrests and sympathy marches.
I'm very aware of that, Mr. Hoover. What I do know is nonviolent. What I need to know right now, what's Martin Luther King about to do next?
Mr. President, Dr. King is here.
Mr. President, in the South, there have been thousands of racially motivated murders.
We need your help, Dr. King. This thing's just gonna have to wait. It cannot wait. You got one big issue, I got 101.
Selma it is.
Here is the next great battle.
Selma's the place, and they ready.
It's Dr. King church though.
I tell you, that white boy can hit.
We will not tolerate agitators attempting to orchestrate a disturbance in this state. It is unacceptable that they use their power to keep us voiceless. Those that have gone before us say no more.
People actually say they're gonna kill our children. They're trying to get inside of your head.
What happens when a man stands up, says enough is enough? We build the path. Yes, we can. Rock by rock. The sail is probably bugged. It probably is.
We must march. We must stand up.
You march those people into rural Alabama, it's gotta be open season.
May I have a word?
There's no word to be had.
The people